I'm William Cook, and I want to share my thoughts on the latest album from Band of Horses. I've been sitting on this one for a while. It came out about a month ago. I'm filming this March or April 4th, and I believe it came out March 4th. So a month later, finally sitting down to share my thoughts on it. At this point, in retrospect, probably would have just written up a short form review to put on my Instagram. I have a bunch of albums that, I just don't have time to film up reviews for, that I share mini reviews on my Instagram. But I wrote up a review a few weeks ago for this one, intending to film it and finally getting around to sit down and actually film it. So let's get into it. This is their first album since 2016's Why Are You Okay? And that had two big singles on it with In a Drawer and Casual Party. Those two singles definitely joined the ranks of Band of Horses' best, but unfortunately the rest of that album has not brought me back since. They're most well known for their 2006 single, The Funeral, and that song will forever go down as one of the greatest songs of my life. I have a very vivid memory of putting that one on a road trip playlist, my first ever solo road trip, a good 4.5-hour drive, and it came on at the perfect moment as the sky was kind of opening up. I remember the sun was out and I was coming around a corner, and when the song really opened up, it just was the perfect accompaniment for that drive, and it's a memory that I'll always cherish. A very strong musical moment for sure in my life. That was the song I discovered them with, but I don't think I discovered it until around 2010, so I was a little bit late to the party with Band of Horses. The Funeral was enough to get me to dive into the rest of their stuff, though, and nothing else quite as notable. But I do have a soft spot for another song from their debut album, the song I Go to the Barn Because I Like That song is just a beautiful showing of their softer side. Looking through their other stuff, we got Is There a Ghost? No One's Gonna Love You from 2007's Cease to Begin. Those jump out as faves. I have not touched anything from 2010's Infinite Arms since first listening to it, but I know I spent some time with it back then. And honestly, I don't think I ever ended up listening to 2012's Mirage Rock for whatever reason. But we got them back here in 2022. Frontman Ben Bridwell sounds as strong as ever, and there's a healing quality to these songs. The album is called Things Are Great, but I don't know if that's a little bit tongue-in-cheek, because as healing as some of these songs are, it's not really in the most encouraging and hopeful way, but more in the sense that there's a relatability to these songs. Songs that hit on some troubles that I'm sure many of us can connect with and find comfort in. It does feel a bit like a pandemic album. A lot of the heightened sensitivity we've all felt throughout the past 2-3 years, I feel like is kind of touched upon in this album. So it opens with Warning Signs, and it is a fantastic opener. From its first notes, it sounds like a classic Band of Horses song. And it sets up the overall tone of the album. It holds this real weight of the hardships of life to it, but it's saying, I'm not asking for help or sympathy. I don't want counseling. I don't want anything. I think it speaks to the way that many of us go through life, dealing with our struggles and kind of just trying to keep them to ourselves for better or for worse. Tragedy of the Commons sounds like a pretty troubled song. I love the line, stick out your neck for somebody else and they laugh in your face like, go fuck yourself. That has some bite to it. I do like the overall mood, but the song doesn't really take things to that higher level of feeling. Kind of a one-note song. In the Hard Times is a showing of Ben's brilliant vocals. There's a fragility to his vocals as he delivers the line, you deserted me in the hard times. It's a slow go of a song, but there's a real tender, sad beauty to it. And then the absolute must-hear song of the album, In Need of Repair. Pretty on the nose with the story it's telling. In a state of disrepair, trying to make it to the morning, holding it all together with a piece of tape in need of repair. It's not enough. The power of this chorus carries me away. And it is one of those songs, I find this happening so much with songs that I love, where it's such a fabulous chorus, you only get it twice. They do not give you that third run through, no kind of bridge into a final chorus thing, but they do at least double it up for its second run through. And when they bring in that guitar at the 240 mark, it hits me so good. And it's the type of song, a perfect score for me, a song that will definitely be a contender for my top 100 of the year, because it really does have me gripped throughout. I find Ben's delivery really is gripping. The big standout line for me, staying friends, is really fantastic. We'll be together from the cradle to the casket, and then just kind of finishes with a, well, maybe, and it's, wow. Wow, does that just, that gets to me. Aftermath is a very nice, easy-paced song, and it has this epic rise of a refrain that holds some real feeling to it. And then we have Ice Night we're having. You know, it's a good pull, a fast pacing, and the mood is there, but it doesn't pull me in with anything else. The chorus, not making a mark on me. You Are Nice to Me really stands out with the addition of the choir vocals coming in and out. It really had a ghostly kind of feel to the song. Get some cool percussion and string elements, and with its floating energy, a very nice melody, and a more open display of struggle within the lyrics, it definitely makes this one another standout. Then we get a lovely closer with Coalinga. It's a city in Central California. I did my research. I find the backing vocals add on a bit of a local natives, maybe Arcade Fire presence to the song, and it just makes for a very sweet finish to the album. And with the final words of the song being, "You're welcome back anytime," I kind of see it as them saying, hey, come on back for a listen anytime. Puts a nice stamp on the album. Well, that's all I wrote for the review, and it's almost a track-by-track review of the album, but I realized I didn't talk about Crutch or Lights, the two other singles. You know, both of them solid, good songs, and I didn't put any notes down about either of them. I find Crutch, thinking off the top of my head, has a, you know, upbeat pull to it, a brightness to it, a good catch, but very plain otherwise, and enough to get that good rating for me, but Crutch really didn't stun me in the way the fellow single In Need of Repair did. And similarly with Lights, I mean, this one brings on a little bit more of a rock drive to it, and I do appreciate the chorus melody. Just another song, though, that I won't really be going back to too much. This album, it's all about In Need of Repair, and that's how it is for me with most albums I listen to. I don't go back and listen through full albums. Hardly ever. I always just take the songs that hit me the hardest, and I put those on my playlists, and those are the ones that stick close to me. And then at the end of the year, you know, I put together my top 100, and that's where I really hold my value in music when it comes to the single songs above albums. But looking at this album right here, you know, you gotta appreciate it, and I definitely do appreciate what they've done with this album. You know, it feels like a very fitting album for the times we've all found ourselves in. And I think they did a good job at touching on a lot of the feelings that we've all had. So I'll wrap it up. I've rated each song, I've crunched the numbers, and I've settled on a final score of 7.9. Band of Horses, thank you, and thank you for checking this out. Love a thumbs up if you like what you saw. Hit the subscribe for more alternative content, and leave your thoughts in the comments below. Love to chat. I'll see you next time.